Hey, what's up? Lately, I've been thinking a lot about the nature of education. So, more specifically, the nature of learning and the nature of teaching. What does it mean to really learn something? What does it mean to be a good teacher? We've all had maybe one teacher that has stuck out, whose methods or whose class that we took we would regard as life changing. Um, And sometimes it's difficult to put a finger on what it is exactly about that teacher or about that class that grasps us, but it's usually the same teacher. For anyone who has had that teacher or that course, it is that teacher or that course who has touched all of those people in that way. Um, so why have we had so few of those teachers? You're lucky to have had one. You're very lucky to have had two. I suspect no one has had more than they can count on one hand, even if they went to, a top, Ivy League or Russell Group school. Um, anyway, having had a world class education on the master's level, and to be honest, having not had quite as much formal teaching experience, I'm an on hiatus philosophy adjunct instructor, currently jobless in that field. Um, I have a little data to draw from, and I've found that in education, both in the classroom and in life in general, I have taught some people a lot by saying very little. And others I have taught nothing after having explained everything there is to explain on a topic. So it leads me to think that learning is not really about the information itself, it's about the students. And therefore, teaching is not about explaining at all, it's about connecting. So those teachers who are commonly regarded as mind-opening, life-changing, perspective-shifting, etc., are those teachers who have really been able to connect with their students in a general and authentic way. Um, you can be a know-it-all. You can have all of the information and have a perfectly logical way of explaining that, um, but that doesn't mean that you have any skill whatsoever in opening people up to learning from you. Um, Even if your beliefs are detached from the content that you're teaching, which they often should be, especially in something like philosophy that I'm into, it doesn't necessarily matter. That doesn't mean that you're able to um, convince people that you have something that they can and should learn. So I guess this is a message to all teachers. Having been a teacher whose uh, courses have been regarded in the high ways that I are highly regarded, in the ways that I just explained, and having had mostly poor teachers in this regard, um, I would say put more focus into the connection. In fact, put all of your focus into that, into authenticity, into clarity, into openness to understanding the students themselves. And, when you take a question or a comment, don't look down your nose at someone. They may have just as much to teach you as you do to teach them, in a way that goes beyond the content, but which is extremely personal and extremely, perhaps, wisdom inducing. Because remember, there's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is about facts, it's about really things that we can put a number on and quantify. Wisdom is about being able to tell what is true from what is false, what is right from what is wrong, morally. And that's a much bigger deal. Uh, and the better you are in that regard, the more you'll be able to connect with students and have your own courses and your own teaching regarded as of a higher level. So that's really it. Just a few random thoughts on the philosophy of education, if you want to call it that. Let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one. Cheers.